and the Empire would leave in peace. It was a worthless exercise. Not since the Empire had taken to the stars had anyone ever won a Rule 039 test. "Found a likely candidate," the intel officer said, looking up from her scanners. "A training camp for young warriors. They are currently engaged in simulated battle drills, something called recess." "That sounds perfect," Rules Officer Plagian said. "What is the name of this place for the official record?" "Evergreen Elementary School," the intel officer replied. "Proceed, then," Commander Kane ordered. "Send in Squad Alpha." "Sir, Alpha?" the intel officer asked. Alpha Squad had the ship's best soldiers. They won every fight, no matter what it cost. They were also known for leaving few, if any, survivors on the battlefield. "Nothing fancy," Commander Kane said. "Just take them out, quick." Josh and Tony sat on the sidelines of Evergreen Elementary's basketball court. It was a hot spring day. The smell of cut grass was thick in the air. The boys would have given anything to be out there running, dribbling, and having a great time. No, that wasn't true. They knew they were better off sitting out the game. They wished they could run and pass and have a great time at basketball like everyone else. But Josh and Tony were total klutzes. Their classmates thundered past them and left them coughing in a cloud of dust. So basketball wasn't their game. Neither was dodgeball or soccer. No big deal. Instead, Josh and Tony were great at chess and board games with tiny squads of men that captured military bases in historical battles. No one else in the entire school could beat them. Instead of everyone thinking this was cool, though, it just got them picked last every time, for every sport. And they never got put into play anymore. That was fine with them. The few times it had happened, they'd gotten bruised and scuffed and spent more time flat on their faces. It was humiliating. So was sitting here. They were on display as the least athletic kids in the 6th grade. Josh scratched a hash in the dirt with his filthy sneaker. "Tic-tac-toe?" Tony pushed his glasses higher onto his nose. He sweated and his glasses were always slipping and covered with greasy fingerprints. "What's the point?" Tony said. "We always tie. How about chess?" "It takes too long to find rocks to make the pieces," Josh said. Josh knew Tony was about to suggest they draw the pieces in the dirt, then erase them and redraw every time they made a move. Last time they tried that, the other kids called a timeout, came over, and trampled what had been one of their best chess games ever. "Let's just—" Tony stared past Josh, ignoring him, eyes locked on the court. Josh followed his gaze. The game had stopped. Both basketball teams faced some new kids. There were 5 newcomers. Josh had never seen them before, he was sure. He would have remembered these kids. The 3 guys and 2 girls were a foot taller than any other kid at Evergreen. They looked like bodybuilders, in shorts and tight t-shirts with Alpha stenciled on them along with numbers 1 through 5. They all wore mirrored wraparound sunglasses. "Alpha is the first letter in the Greek alphabet," Tony said. "Whatever," Josh told him, annoyed because he hadn't known that. Tony was always showing off. The new kids must have said something funny because all 10 ordinary kids on the court laughed. The biggest new kid, one with a crooked nose that looked like it had been broken a few times, looked deadly serious as he continued to talk to them. He had the number 1 on his shirt. He picked up the basketball. The 2 teams on the court lined up against the newcomers. "How can they all play?" Tony whispered. "It'd be 2 teams against 1.